For 20 years, Eleanor Whitmore had not taken a single step. Her family carried her from hospital to hospital, from New York to London to Geneva. But every doctor gave the same verdict. She would never walk again. Her son Daniel, heir to the Whitmore fortune, paid for the finest specialists, the newest therapies, the most advanced treatments money could buy. Nothing worked. Nothing changed. And slowly, the family stopped hoping. Eleanor, once a fiery matriarch who lit up ballrooms in golden gowns, became a shadow of herself. Her throne was a wheelchair, her crown silence. The estate, though filled with chandeliers and polished marble, grew as cold as a mausoleum. Then, one day Grace arrived. Grace was different, a black maid in her 30s. She carried herself with quiet strength. She was not dazzled by the chandeliers or the family name. She saw not just the wealthy widow in silk robes, but the woman behind the silence. Eleanor tested her at first, snapping at her, scolding her for small things. But Grace did not shrink like the others. She listened. She noticed. She understood. She saw how Eleanor's eyes lingered on old photographs of her dancing days. She saw the way her voice tightened whenever someone wheeled her past the ballroom doors. And then one night, Grace found her weeping in the dark. "I am already buried while still alive," Eleanor whispered. Everyone else saw a relic. Grace saw something else. "You're not buried," she called her. "You're alive. And as long as you're alive, your body remembers what it once did. We just have to remind it." Eleanor laughed bitterly. "Remind it? I haven't walked in 20 years. Do you think your hands can do what medicine could not?" But Grace did not flinch. "Not my hands. Your will." From that moment, the work began. Day after day, in secret, Grace pushed Eleanor further than she thought possible. Gentle stretches, massages, movements that sent pain through muscles long forgotten. Eleanor cursed, cried, demanded it stop. But Grace never gave up. She spoke to her not as a crippled woman, but as someone still capable of fighting. The first twitch of a toe came like a miracle. The first lift of a foot brought Eleanor to tears. And slowly, hope crept back into the house. Weeks turned into months. The nights grew longer, the sessions harder. Grace's belief never wavered, and Eleanor's body slowly remembered what her mind had long abandoned. And then came the night everything changed. The storm raged outside, thunder echoing through the halls. Inside, Eleanor clutched Grace's hands, her legs trembling beneath her. Her chest heaved as sweat rolled down her temples. Grace's voice cut through the storm. "One more step. Just one more, Eleanor." And she did it. For the first time in decades, Eleanor Whitmore stood. Her knees shook violently, her arms trembled, but her feet were planted firmly on the ground. Her heart thundered. Her lips parted in disbelief. I'm standing." Grace steadied her. "Yes. And soon, you'll dance again." Eleanor laughed through her tears, a sound the house had not heard in years. And with stubborn fire in her eyes, she whispered, "Then let's not wait another day." Grace tried to protest. Her body was too weak, too unprepared. But Eleanor silenced her with a fierce grip. "If I fall, I fall. But if I don't try now, I may never know what it feels like to live again." And so they moved, slowly, clumsily. Her satin gown swayed as her slippers dragged against the carpet. Grace guided her, step by trembling step, until the shuffle became rhythm. Until the rhythm became a fragile dance. Tears streamed down Eleanor's cheeks as she whispered, "I remember this feeling. Oh, Grace, I remember." The house, silent for so long, seemed to come alive again. And it was in that moment that Daniel, her son, entered. He had heard noises and came to check, but nothing could have prepared him for what he saw. His mother, who for 20 years had been bound to a chair, was standing. Not just standing, but dancing, laughing, alive, her frail hands clasped to the maid who had done what science and fortune could not. Daniel's breath caught. His voice cracked as he whispered, "Mother." For a moment, Eleanor faltered under his gaze, as though afraid his doubt would pull her back into the chair. But Grace's hand tightened around hers, steadying her. Eleanor lifted her chin, tears shimmering in her eyes. and spoke with the strength of the woman she once was. "Daniel, I told you once that I was buried while still breathing. Look at me now. I am living again." Daniel's vision blurred with tears as he stared at the impossible, the miracle his wealth had never been able to buy, and with a trembling smile, Eleanor held Grace's hand tighter and declared, "She saw me when no one else did. She believed when even I could not, and I will never let her go." And so, in a house that had been silent for 20 years, life returned, not through money, not through medicine, but through belief. If this story touched you, don't just let it fade away. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who needs hope today. And make sure to subscribe so you never miss stories like this again. Tell us in the comments where in the world you're watching from, and what part of this journey moved you most. We love hearing your voices, because sometimes all it takes is one moment, one act of belief, to turn the impossible into life again. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.